Good morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast, and we got some important information coming in. How's it going, Wen? Donna, thanks for popping in already. And the WNBA, their current extension of their CBA expires today. Mm-hmm. The vice president of the Players Association, Breonna Stewart, part of the New York Liberty, said they are not extending the CBA this time around. And so that puts them into a weird spot of status quo kind of limbo. It doesn't require a strike. Basically, it keeps their current CBA sort of in place, and then it allows them to continue to negotiate, but it also gives them, what's up, Brian? It gives them no obligation to do anything. So she basically went on to ESPN and said that they are not going to be coming to an agreement by today. And so that is why they are just letting this current CBA fall apart. Now they're not planning on striking, but they did basically say that we have that option in our back pocket. And I fully expect them to end up with a strike. Right. And yeah, that is exactly it. There is a real chance that the WNBA kills all of their momentum. The Players Association is led by NECA, who was, here for the Storm. Breonna Stewart is the VP, and then the co-VP is Fee. So between all of that and the fact that the WNBA can't figure out how to come to a realistic agreement, there's a real chance we don't have the WNBA coming up here in just a couple of months.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Hey, I apologize. Look, y'all probably don't know this. I live in a forest, and sometimes I get internet, sometimes I don't. I'm at them, but here's the thing: when I don't get internet, not only do I get no good computer, but I don't have a phone either. It's like living off the grid, Bo. If we don't get no internet, you're off the grid. There's nothing you can do about it. But hey, at least I'm not out there with ice and stuff. I feel for you, Dustin. I know that. I know how that feels, man. I do.
We had Seattle weather like all day yesterday. We had 3.5 inches of rain yesterday, and then all that shit freaking froze from like 4 a.m.
That's the misconception for Seattle. See, here in Seattle, it rains a lot, but it doesn't rain a lot.
Right.
Like it was like an all day rain.
It rains a lot of days. It doesn't rain a lot of volume.
Yeah, like I meant like it was like an all day.
There are many other places around the U.S. that rains way more as far as volume than here in Seattle.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. I don't know what's going on with the Connecticut sun, or if the energy has dissipated, because I haven't heard as much about it other than when it first came out about the Rockets possibly getting, or not the Rockets, but Houston possibly getting a WNBA with the Connecticut sun. Dustin, I know you're kind of the WNBA kind of the no guy. Have you heard any more traction on that at all, or has that kind of just died?
Are you serious?
I thought you were the WNBA guy. I thought you. No, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just well.
That's
Bo. I will turn my attention to you. You got the Seattle team.
It's probably me since I cover it.
Well, no, I thought Bo, but I thought he did anyway. I thought I heard it from you, Dustin. I guess that's why I was asking. I thought you were the one that told me about it. But well, regardless, Bo, you're in the WNBA now. I apologize. Have you heard anything about the Connecticut Sun?
Yeah, so they're still looking to move, although I think there is much more concern over the current CBA situation. So there hasn't been incredible movement as far as Connecticut Sun moving forward, as far as going either down towards you or into Boston. Those are all still on the table, though. And no, I don't think it'll terminate the league. It will seriously hurt it. If it actually,
and they just got the big payday too on top of all that.
Yeah, 11-year, $2.2 billion TV deal. So I mean, they need to figure their stuff out. All of a sudden they could be in some breach of contract type of stuff if they don't have teams to field out there. So
I was going to ask you about that. How does that affect the deal? Does it, in other words, will whoever gave them the deal, will the TV come back and say, hey, look, if you're not in here for X number of weeks or whatever the case is, we're going to start taking money away from the deal? Or how does that work?
I mean, I'm sure that there would be some, well, there'd be some litigation for that, right? Like, I don't know if it would necessarily negate the deal. It would take money away from it. It would also probably have the league in a little bit of trouble because now you have all these TV slots that now they have to have other programming for if, you know, they don't, if they don't have basketball to put in there, right? Like,
you know what's interesting though to me, the only thing that's really truly helping the WNBA is the NBA. Because let's be honest, if this was any other league, UFC, UFL, XFL, whatever you want to term it, if this happened, how would they? I don't think they could survive because they don't have any backers behind them that would keep them afloat, right?
Say that again.
I guess what I'm saying is if the XFL, or XFL or UFL, any one of the smaller leagues that are independent leagues that are trying to make it, if they were to get a deal like this, but they couldn't field the team, I mean, how could they? I'm just wondering, could they actually afford it? I think the WNBA kind of has that fallback where if they don't have the TV deal, they kind of got the NBA to kind of fall back on to help them out to keep them afloat. I just wonder if the XFL or USFL or whatever. I don't think they could. Obviously they could because they couldn't sustain it on their own, right?
No,
I just feel like.
So if one of that isn't apples to apples there. Like you're talking about a startup league that is already struggling financially, which is why they created their basically a regional sport instead of it being nationwide because they were trying to save money as far as travel and all of that. Whereas when you're looking at the WNBA, not only do they have a longer track record because they've been around for 20 plus years, but they do have the NBA to help fill the void on the back end. Whereas when you're looking at, the UFL, stuff like that, they don't, right? Like they don't have that kind of backing. Obviously they're not hurting for cash, right? They're co-owned by The Rock and Fox Sports. So, I mean, like they have money at their disposal, but they don't have NBA money, right? Because the NBA, let's be honest, kind of used this as a tax shelter. At least that's the way it looks from the outside. So I don't think it would be affected quite the same. Those leagues that you're talking about would absolutely go out of business if they had some sort of strike right now. And, you have your TV deal in question. Yeah, they fold up. All of a sudden it's the AAF. So,
and I think that's what I'm getting at. Like, I think to your point, it would kill their momentum that they're getting, but it wouldn't necessarily kill the league. It would just set them back. It would just set them back a hell of a lot. Yeah,
it would set them a decade back, but it wouldn't kill them. Like the league would still exist. And, it's not like there aren't players. I mean, you still have all the people that are on their rookie deals and everything, right? So, I mean, it's not like you couldn't field teams, but you would lose all of your star power.
Right. How long did you say the NBA was in the league before they started turning a serious profit? How long did you? At least 30?
It took until the 80s. So, I mean, they were around for almost 30 years.
Right. And how long has the WNBA been around? Maybe
20-something years.
Right. So, and let's be honest, and it's not like they have the men's demographic to really push it. They're relying on the female demographic. And I'll be honest with you, most people I know that are female or that live around me, they have no cares or whatever about the WNBA. And that might be because the comments aren't here. Maybe that kind of killed it for them. But you don't really get a lot of female support. At least I'm not in my neck of the woods.
The biggest thing with the WNBA, this is exactly why I think that it was more or less a tax shelter for the NBA, is up until this point, it's been on obscure networks that you have to go find. The marketing team has been atrocious. Right. So half the time you didn't even know when the season would start. We have a team that was a 4-time champion, and we half the time didn't know when the season started. So, I mean, it's a testament to just kind of how poorly the marketing end of it has been ran over time. I think they're finally starting to turn the corner on that just in time for them to torpedo themselves again. So the way that the front office runs the WNBA is kind of like that meme of the guy on his bike and then he shoves a stick in the front and then he's laying on the ground like, oh, what are those? Like, well, I mean, it's because you're kind of doing it to yourself. So
yeah,
that's sort of the issue.
Yeah.
We do have some. We do have some breaking NFL news.
I think the part that is frustrating about it is there's no need for it, because it's not like the women are asking for crazy, like, we want this number or anything, right? They want
a percentage. They're chasing they are chasing a number to a certain degree because they want a percentage.
They're not, because that is based on the success of the league. So if the league does better, you do better. Right? If they do worse, you make less. And even when Silver came out and they're like, well, but the NBA makes more. Yeah, but it's a percentage. So of course they make more.
Hold on, let me stop, because I thought, for everything I've read,
this is easy math, because it's not like they're like, we want to make what the men make as far as actual volume. Right? Like, we're not saying we're making $40 million a year or whatever. What they're saying is they want the same percentage split, which is exactly what they do in most other sports. Good.
Well, and again, though, but okay, so they want a percentage split, but there has to be a number in there that they have in mind, because otherwise they could just give an arbitrary number and they'd be. If you get 2.2 billion, they have to figure, okay, that is a physical number. That means there has to be a physical number that should be attached to the females, what they bring to the league. There has to be a physical number. They're not just going into these conversations with no number in mind. Let's be honest. Nobody does that.
No, they are. So they are, because what it is as it continues to grow, you make more, right? So you don't have a fixed number in mind. You don't want to have a fixed number, because you're betting on the success of the league. So if you would have taken that $1 million, which is way better than what they've been getting, but the league continues to grow, but you're still capped at $1 million, you don't have anywhere to go, right? If you have a percentage, as the league continues to increase in value, you also get raises. Or
the number's going to go up.
Or if it shrinks, your pay also follows that, right? Similar to the NFL, when they had issues during COVID, the salary cap actually dropped, right? So that's the thing with percentages, is you are expecting success. So that is so no, they don't really they're not really after a specific number. They just want to have the ability to continue to grow with the league when they are the reason the league is growing. Oh, we got a PAG sighting.
We have some breaking NFL news too, Bo.
What do we got?
Miami Dolphins have hired a new GM. They are hiring Green Bay Packers VP of Player Personnel, John Eric Sullivan, to be their GM, which now brings the question, does he want Jeff Hafley to possibly interview for the head coaching job, or depending on if Matt LaFleur gets fired, does Matt LaFleur go to Miami?
That would be interesting.
Again, why would you bring somebody who didn't succeed?
They do it all the time.
I mean, he's got like a 675 winning percentage, so it's not like he hasn't succeeded. He just hasn't succeeded in the playoffs. But I mean, he's lost to the 49ers and the Eagles, two teams that have gone to the Super Bowl.
True.
And he lost to Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game his first year as a head coach. So if they're going to lose, I mean, those are the teams you're going to want to lose to.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Are you following like an old-timey, like 19?
That's kind of what I was wondering. I was like, is that his engine? Is that like an inline 6 or something? What do you got in that thing?
So they were doing a lot of construction. I'm in like old school Philly. So, yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, that's what's going on. They were doing construction all over the place around here. But just finished on Fox Good Day.
Nice.
Very cool.
Don't break a leg, though. You want to make it to your chair.
How'd that work for How Was It This Morning, Pegs?
It was nice. It was like a quick hit, and then they're like, it was only supposed to be like for 10 minutes, and they kept me on there for 45.
Oh hell yeah!
So, yeah, which was nice. It's and every time I go on there, they find out a little bit more about me. And he's like, "You do this full time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't make the type of money you do." He's like, "I'm sure you're doing pretty well." So it's I'm not as I don't make the big bucks like these guys, but you know,
Well, not yet. It doesn't mean you're
Not
not
yet.
going to.
That's right.
And listen, more movie premieres. Hey, I'm all for it. You
I wonder
know?
what your IDMB ranking is right now. You got to be at least around the 20,000 mark.
IMDb.
Yeah, it's how they view actors. It's how they rank actors. Like a friend of mine does a bunch of acting, and you get an IDMB, I believe is what it is, ranking, and that's how you move up.
I got to be somewhere in the 50,000s, I would think. If I had it, because I have had, I don't have a SAG card, which is probably what you would need to do that. But because I have now been in a SAG commercial or a union commercial and a union film where I actually had a speaking line, I would be able to get my SAG card. And, then I'd probably.
Speaking of which, the movie you were debuted in that aired last night, correct?
So it debuted last night, but it is now live on Amazon Prime. Definitely, you can get it. It's called The Conspiracists, and it's like 94 minutes long, so it's not too long. And it'll be it's a funny movie. We had probably about 300 in the premiere, at the premiere last night, and there was audible laughs, and when I came on, there was it was audible. My what I brought to the table.
How many lines did they give you, or did you have any lines?
I didn't have any lines. I just sort of improv'd, and I will say that. It was a conspiracy about Super Bowl 57.
Aha. Cool. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be tuning into that tonight and give it a watch.
There you go. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was my first premiere where I was on the red carpet. And people were telling me out of everybody in the movie, I may have been the most famous one there, which I didn't believe, but
well, you never know.
I'm like an E-level actor, not even D. So maybe F, just straight F.
No, you're an Eagles fan, so you're E-level.
Yeah, that's right.
E-level is why I figured it was right there. That was perfect because I had the tuxedo donned. And was looking sharp.
Yeah, I did see that on Facebook with you in the tuxedo, which looked really nice on you. I gotta admit, looked really good.
Nice.
Would have been better if it was Cowboys, but hey, you're a Philly guy, so you gotta do Philly stuff.
Nobody wants to see you in assless chaps, Jay.
Yeah. No ass for
First of all, just so we're clear, there is no ass on any chap of any kind. They are all assless. Just so we're tracking. There is no specific chap that is assless. Just want to let you know that.
Right.
A little cowboy humor there.
We don't want to see you wearing your Speedo with your chaps.
I don't even think I'd want to see that, Pax, to be honest with you. That'd be pretty damn
I'm
ugly.
sure.
Jay,
I'm holding my own for 53, but even sometimes
Jay, damn
well. You don't know about that yet because you're a very young man. Dustin, you don't know about that because you're a pretty young man. But me and Pags, we know all about it.
Jay, damn well that if Jerry Jones sold a team right now, you'd be running around in your Speedo through your neighborhood right now.
Hell with a Speedo. If that shit happened, I'd run all over the place. I'd be Naked Cowboy 2.0. Hell yeah. I would, man. I'd be so happy. I wouldn't care. Throw me in jail. Well, I don't care because Jerry's
He's a rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah.
Where's the show going?
Sports until you showed up.
So I gotta ask. So the Phillies are going after. Is it Bellinger?
Boba
Boba Fett.
Boba. Is he worth
Not
300
Boba Fett.
million?
Boba Fett.
Do I
Is
think
he worth
he's
300 million?
Do I think he's worth 300 million? No. But at the same time, depending on obviously what happens with the new CBA that's going to have to be put in place next year, I think he is worth more than what the new CBA would allow him to get next year. So he wants to cash in now before that new CBA becomes a thing.
I think Brad was talking about Bo Biscotti. It's actually
I think Boba Fett's probably I think he's a $30 million a year player, maybe $35 million a year player because he's a 300 hitter. Like he hits 310. He's going to give you 25, 30 home runs. He's going to drive in 100 runs every year. I'd say he's probably worth 230.
What position?
He's a shortstop, but he said he'd be willing to move to second base or third base if needed.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So
you have
they
Trey
would
Turner
have.
at shortstop. You move probably Bichette to second.
That means that. Well, no, I think that they'd
Or
probably
third.
move him to third.
Yeah.
And Donna, it was probably autocorrect. Let's be real.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why I think he's asking for the 300 million now, just because he's worth more than 200 million. But if that new CBA says that each team only has this amount of money to spend, chances are he's not getting a $200 million contract again if he signs a short-term deal.
Well, on top of that, I mean, it's like, see, this is going to be the hard part about.
And he's only 20, and he's only 27 too, so he's just getting into like his prime years as a player.
I think that the hard part about all this is that they're going to go ahead. They're still going to sign these contracts, and they're still going to have to figure out a way to cancel them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's going to be a lot of canceled contracts in the process. I can imagine they may even do like buyouts, like hockey buyout types.
Right.
If you remember when they did that.
Well, one thing that I could see baseball maybe even incorporating is something that every other sport has that baseball doesn't have. Signing bonuses. If you want to give a player a big like $200, $300 million contract, why don't you give him like a massive signing bonus like these other sports do? Because then it takes less money off your cap and you can pay the signing bonus out over time. That's something that baseball doesn't have because of those guaranteed contracts. They don't worry about the signing bonus. But if a salary cap is put in place or some sort of spending,
you mean like instead of why defer the money when you could just put it into a salary cap and call it good?
Because like baseball is the only sport that doesn't have like signing bonuses with the contract. It's just a straight contract and you get paid out like every year. Versus every other sport, like you have your contract, but then portion of the contract is a signing bonus that they can kind of distribute how they see fit. That's something I can see baseball doing if teams find out that you're not going to be able to give players $300 million contracts anymore. You might see them be like, oh, we'll give this player a 10-year, $300 million contract, but $80 million of it will be a signing bonus, so then it's only $22 million a year against your cap.
Well, that makes me wonder now that you're talking about it like that. So it's like, do the players choose, hey, we are so against the salary cap that we will choose against, it's either the salary cap or the guaranteed contracts.
I think the players would be against the cap because that prevents them from getting like as much money as they can. Yep. But if you had to compromise with some sort of a signing bonus, I think they would agree to that because you're still getting the $500 million contract that you signed, but you might just have like $140 million of that as a signing bonus that gets paid over time. So now it's only $36 million a year against the cap as opposed to 50.
Well, or if they decide that they are not going to have guaranteed contracts, but not any salary cap, those signing bonuses would get paid all up front.
Brad, there's actually four big-time free agents left. We got Tucker, we got Bregman, we got Bichette, we got Bellinger. You still have Ranger Suarez. You still have Framber Valdez. 25 of the top 40 free agents are still in the open market.
Yeah.
There's plenty of good players left that haven't signed.
Hey, wasn't there supposed to be an international draft, I thought, for baseball?
International draft is not even 2 weeks, 6 days away. January 15th is the international free agent period. It's not a draft, but international free
Okay.
agent period is January 15th.
Because I think I saw some, I can't remember the website I was reading on, but I saw where the Astros are bringing in quite a few South American
Yep,
players.
they're supposed to bring in 5. They're supposed to bring in
Yeah.
the most of all the teams in the international free agent period.
And I think 2 of them are shortstops as well. So I'm kind of wondering, what does that mean for Jeremy Pena? Now they already have 2 shortstops currently on the roster.
Well, do you follow the international free agent period much, Jay?
No, not as much. I don't get as much coverage on that.
So 90% of the
Remember,
players.
he lives in the woods.
Literally,
90%
like
of
literally
the players,
woods.
90% of the players in the international draft are players between the ages of 15 and 17 years old, and 90% of the players are shortstops. The reason why they're shortstops is because typically a shortstop is one of the more athletic players on the field. So you can move a shortstop to the outfield. You can move a shortstop to second base or third base or kind of like any of one of those openings. It's just that these players are so young. They're like, oh, we'll put a 15-year-old in our system and send him to the Dominican Rookie League for the next 3 years and see what he can do. Now I want to move him to third base and send him stateside.
Yeah. I don't like to see. I saw the comment. I don't want to see Jeremy Pena leave. I like the guy defensively and his bat. I think he's a great teammate. But I know that's part of the business. But the 2 shortstops they brought in, supposedly from what I read on them, they look like they're pretty strong, hitting wise and defensively. I mean, they look like they're bringing some strong candidates in. So we'll see. Yeah.
And so I started to read that article that you sent in the text.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet.
None of that's going to happen. None of that's going to happen.
No. The baseball season's too long. Plus, you absolutely torpedo every record that's ever been set.
Right.
I mean, basically every record that's set would now be set in stone because you'd have to limit some of your regular season games because it's not like you're going to add more games. You already have an issue with pitchers getting hurt. So at this point, if they were going to add a mid-season tournament, which is asinine and I hate it in just about every sport, if you do that, then you have to eliminate games, and then you destroy every historical record.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, Dustin. I know we were talking about the reverse slider. I think we were talking about the other day. What obviously the Astros have a lot of Tommy Johns since Bo was talking about Tommy Johns. How does that reverse? Because I watched how you did that pitching motion. How does that affect the Tommy Johns?
It's gonna have the same effect as a regular breaking ball. Okay. Eventually, you throw enough breaking balls, your elbow's gonna pop. Because it's not.
That's what worries me with them.
It's not like a fastball where you're just going out there and just snapping your wrist forward to release the pitch. Like your arm is going sideways, you're twisting and snapping it at the same time. Like eventually, you throw enough breaking balls, your elbow's going to pop eventually.
Yeah, because that's the one thing that worries me with him is would that put him in that type of thing, especially with the Astros issues.
I guess one good thing, I guess, with Japanese pitchers, apart from maybe you, Darvish, who's had 3 Tommy John surgeries now, Japanese pitchers tend to have Tommy John a lot less than American-born pitchers just because when you watch baseball in Japan as opposed to baseball here, Japan is more of an off-speed pitch type of league. Like, they don't have the fastballs that we have here. Like, most of the pitchers are throwing 92, 93, but they're living off of their splitters. They're living off of their breaking balls and their changeups and things like that. So it leads me to believe that maybe in Japan they're teaching pitchers to throw the breaking ball differently. So it doesn't have as much effect on your elbow and it doesn't have as much effect on your shoulder, which is why they've made a living throwing those off-speed pitches overseas, and then they come stateside and they don't have arm problems.
Yeah, but I think that's I know that it's sexy to throw over 100 miles an hour, but realistically, I think that it's eventually we're going to go back to the off speeds.
Yep.
Because like I said, these guys don't know how to hit a 70-mile-per-hour fastball anymore.
Nope. And I think that's why, like you said, I think that's why so many pitchers have so much arm problems now, because all these coaches just want you to throw as hard as you can. I don't care, like, if you're throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, eventually your arm is not made for that to do that constantly.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's why Jamie Moyer was so great.
Mm-hmm.
He would throw a 68-mile-per-hour fastball and then come around with a 61-mile-per-hour changeup.
And then for good measure, you throw in that 65-mile-an-hour back foot slider every now and then.
It does help that his location was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why he was able to pitch. I mean, that's the same way with like Phil Niekro and stuff like that. Although he was able to use spitballs and Vaseline, shit like that, to be able to help. He did all that stuff, but like that's why you're able to pitch up into your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you think about that the opposite way, then you have like Nolan Ryan, who was able to pitch all the way up into his 40s. But that was because he was so commanding of the strike zone. He knew exactly where to place a pitch.
Did you?
And that's what
I just don't know how, like Nolan Ryan was such a specimen. Like that guy pitched 235 innings in one game. I think that's like the longest anybody's ever pitched. I don't know how you pitch 235 damn innings.
So
in one game, was that game?
I apologize. I know I said it. I know I said it. Shut up, y'all. I meant pitches. God, shut up.
Well, it's been fun. Have a good week, everybody.
Look, Brad can't spell it. I don't know the difference between an inning and a pitch. Whatever. It is what it is. I meant to say
he
pitches.
Would pitch
I
close
apologize.
to 300 innings in a season, which is what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
Not like he would pitch. I think he pitched 150, 160 pitches a game.
He's talking about he's talking about the 238 in 2 games that were back-to-back games. Like it was or day in between, something like that. Like it.
I thought one of them was an overtime.
He was such a ridiculous guy. I mean,
he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But did you guys,
but he also, like I said, he also knew, like he was able to put his fastball in a very specific spot. You know, he had Greg Maddux type control and speed and control of his off pitches.
Did you ever?
And he wasn't afraid to put it in your ear, so everybody walked up there a little bit afraid.
Did you guys ever see
ask Ventura about that one.
Did you guys ever see the Greg Maddux and Jamie Moyer video? When Greg Maddux and Jamie Moyer were on the Cubs together, did you guys ever see that one video of them when they were saying like how they were trying to figure out who had the best command?
No.
So they took like a little kid stool, like one of those little tiny 3-legged kid stools that you have in like preschools or whatever.
Okay.
And they would put like Matchbox cars or quarters or like little objects on these stools. And Maddux and Moyer would just throw it and just hit the object, never even touch the stool. I'm like, that's just freaking ridiculous.
No.
Everybody pitches exactly where you want it to go every single time.
It wasn't 2 games, so it was 1 game. Nolan Ryan pitched 235 pitches in a single game on June 14th, 1974, in a 13-inning game for the California Angels against the Boston Red Sox. 235 pitches, 1 game, not 2. 13 damn innings. Crazy. It blows my mind how crazy that is. I mean, we can't even get pitchers to get to 100 nowadays.
That's not even the record. I bet you that there's probably somebody back in the 20s or 30s that pitched like 318 pitches in 1 game for like a game that went like in the dead ball era, probably somewhere around like 21 innings or 18 innings or something. And
the record for most pitches thrown in the game is held jointly by Leon Kadori and Joe O'Sheger, who's thrown 361 pitches in a 26-inning game in 1920.
That's insane. But it's just weird though. We can't even get pitchers. If the pitcher gets close to 100, we're freaking out. We're pulling them. These dudes back in them days.
It's analytics now.
Think about it this way.
Yeah, you're right. It is analytics. A lot of it.
Games back in the day were all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now your complete game leader has 2.
It's all analytics now. Like you get that batter up for the third time, it's like, oh, we're inking you. Oh, we're inking you. I don't care if we had 61 pitches. The batting order's coming up for a third time. You're gone.
Well, and then you think of it like that. Like, I mean, how many other times would you have seen a pitcher pulled for any reason when pitching a no-hitter?
Never.
That's happening more frequently.
Like
so it's like
I get analytics, and I understand that analytics is part of everything. Football, basketball, like analytics is part of everything.
Yeah.
But you still need to have like an eye test too. Like if your pitcher is going out there and he's throwing 6 shutout innings of like with 68, 70 pitches, and all of a sudden the batting order is coming up for a third time, I don't need analytics to tell me that my pitcher has dominated this game and I can leave him out there because he's showing no signs of this team being able to hit him right now. Like I don't need to look at a book and be like, well, the batting order goes up 100 points on this guy the third time through the order. It's like
that's why that movie, what is it, Trouble with the Curve, comes to mind, because it seems like that was all what that was about. Was one guy was seeing analytics, the other guy was looking at, like you said, by the eye test. You know, and there were two different versions.
Like you're gonna look at analytics for like some stuff, like pinch hitting and like pinch running in like certain scenarios, but still, like you still can see what's happening on the field. You can still see like how batters are doing against your pitcher, how your hitters are doing against the other team's pitcher. Like you don't need analytics to tell you like this hitter's over 4 with 4 strikeouts. I don't think I should leave him in anymore because he's having a rough day.
It's almost like you're letting the analytics be the coach instead of the coach being the coach. That's the problem I have with it.
And you watched that in real time with the Chargers and Staley.
Oh God.
You know, he would do the most analytically driven thing as opposed to actually paying attention to what's happening in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Mr. First Down. Oh.
Yep.
All right.
Sam, he's a Titans fan, so
I ain't getting too many first downs there.
He's been going through it.
I wonder if he's married to Mrs. Second Down. Which their kids would be third and fourth down. Not a big deal. An impulse.
All right. I guess this is as good a time as any. If you're here in the Pacific Northwest, you can use the QR code on the screen. Free 5-day pass at any of the 3 locations: Bellevue, Ballard, University Village, Pilates Boot Camp, Yoga Bar, and more. There is a Reformer studio coming to Ballard later this month. And of course, if you are betting on any of the games this weekend, be sure to use this QR code here, up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee in case you happen to listen to this panel. And stick that alongside us right here on Coast to Coast with the QR code right there.
That sounds like a lot of fun, going to a yoga bar. Go out there and do some stretching. I guess you get a couple of healthy drinks to round it out. Go home.
Yoga bar?
I've never been to a yoga bar. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know what the hell that is. Other than I guess they do yoga.
It's a gym.
Is that what it is? No, seriously, they don't have it. Look, where I live, there's nothing out here called no damn yoga bar. I ain't never heard of that before. Look, I've never heard that.
No. Bar is a class.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it? Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. That's why I took it a different direction. I had no idea.
It is spelled very different.
I thought it was yoga BAR. I thought that's what it sounds like you're saying to me, because they don't have that here. I mean, that must be a northern thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have that at all. Jay, you're killing me today, man.
Well, I'm just asking what the hell a damn yoga bar is.
So there was a comment quite a ways up there now. We don't have to scroll back up to find it, but I think it was Rob that said something on it where Scuba wants $32 million.
Oh, I did put it up on the screen.
Okay, yeah, Tigers offered $19 million, so obviously they're going to go to arbitration. And typically, when you go to arbitration, it ends up working usually in the team, usually in the organization's favor. This one is going to be working in Tarek Scuba's favor because that guy is worth $32 million. There's a reason why he's already told the Tigers that he's not going to re-sign with them when he's going to free agency, because he's going to get $40 million a year when he hits free agency.
How old is Scuba again? 28?
27.
27?
Yeah.
I don't know why the guy's not working. Wasn't he just in Cy Young conversations? Or didn't he get the Cy Young?
Cy Young the last 2 years, maybe even like the last 3 years.
Yeah, so why would they not give him that kind of money? I mean, if Verlander and them are getting like $25 million at 40 years of age,
because it's arbitration, you're still going up off the minor league pay scale. Like you come in with a certain amount of money, and then your first year you get a certain amount of raise. Your second year you get a certain amount of raise. But when it comes to Skubal, his performance is like a performance that's never been seen before for a player that came into the league on a minor league deal. So his arbitration scale, there is nothing you can compare it to. It's not like a hitter that made $3 million and then the next year he's making $6 million. Like this guy went from $600,000 to $4 million to $14 million to $18 million, and now this. Like he's got no scale to compare it to.
Well, what is it? Skeens on the same? He's pretty much on the same level as Skubal, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Skeens will be the same thing. Skeens is only making I think $1.7 million or $2 million this year because he's still on his minor league deal. But once he hits arbitration, he'll be in the same situation.
Oh hell yeah, he will be.
Pirates will be like, oh, we'll give you $10 million. Skeens will be like, funny, I'll give me 40.
And someone's going to pay it, and they should. I mean, with that skill set, even though I agree with them, nobody's worth that kind of money. But hey, entertainment is a whole different business. A whole different business.
Yeah, but this is the one time where the arbitration hearing is going to go in Skubal's favor. He may not get the 32, but he's going to get over 25. And the Tigers going to be like, well, that sucks.
But I wonder what team he's gonna wind up landing with. I'd be curious to know that. If they say the Dodgers, I'm out of here, man.
Say, you don't even have to ask. He's going.
I know, right? You know where he's going, right?
The Dodgers will take him. They'll trade for him and then sign him to an extension right away.
Yeah, like he's gonna be coming in relief for the Dodgers. Right? You're gonna have aces all around the league as their like closer.
You know, it reminds me of when I used to play. I think it was Madden. I think it was when I used to play. And you could hype, like you could make a custom team and you could hype it up all their attributes like 99. Every player had like 99 ratings. I feel like that's what the Dodgers is. They're just like a team where they're just customizing it and making every position a 99 player. You know, well, that's crazy to me.
That's what they were saying last night. They were saying that if the Dodgers end up trading for Freddie Peralta, they were saying, what starting pitcher do you move to the bullpen full time? And they basically said the Dodgers' plan would be to keep Roki Sasaki as their closer, have Tanner Scott as their setup man, and then potentially move Tyler Glasnow to the bullpen. I'm like, that's fun. There's your 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Glasnow to Scott to Sasaki. And then they also have Edwin Diaz. They also have Edwin Diaz now, too, so you can throw Edwin Diaz in the bullpen, too.
Yeah.
That team's going to suck.
I hope so.
The Mariners are actually bringing a couple of guys back. So we had 2 players avoid arbitration. Arozarena coming back, 1-year deal, 15.6. And Kirby also agrees to a 1-year deal, 6.5. So
were those the only 2 you had on arbitration?
Well, those are the only 2 that cleared. They signed them yesterday, last night.
So now the Cubs had 3 players on arbitration. They agreed to deals yesterday with Justin Steele, Assad, and can't remember who the other one was. But all 3 of them agreed.
Yeah, so we'll we'll see what other signings we get, but at least the Mariners are actually signing people, which is something we also haven't seen. So how about us doing good last year and then trying to keep the team? It's such a weird environment for the Mariners if you're a Mariner fan. You're like, wait, we're doing what? We're trying to keep talent on our team? That is bizarre to me.
We're trying to win.
And then we send them around the league to go win rings.
Wait, we're trying to win more consistently for a change? This is fun.
Yeah, there's 6 guys signed. These ones just cleared arbitration. The other guys that signed didn't have to deal with that. So,
would you consider arbitration the baseball's way of the franchise tag?
Yeah, kind of. Right?
Because it's basically after your deal is done, and then you have those extra 2 or 3 years of control where it's just like, oh, you get a pay raise, oh, you get a pay raise, oh, you get a pay raise, similar to that franchise tag where, oh, first tag is this, second tag is this.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of a accurate assessment of it. Like it more or less, because it gives the team control. So,
how long do they actually have control?
Depending.
Years.
Depending. Most Typically 7 to 8 years of initial control, I believe, when you're drafted. Because when you're drafted, you're initially on a 5-year entry-level contract, and then you have the 3 years of arbitration after that. So you're typically on 8 years of control right out the chute. But then there's obviously ways around that where if a team signs a player to an extension right away, it cancels out the arbitration.
It makes me wonder, like, how much of this stuff is going to go away.
This CBA is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially if they try to put
think-
that hard cap in there, and the people that fight it, I wonder, how that's, like you said, I wonder if that's going to kill baseball.
I think the arbitration is actually going to go away, especially when you look at what's happening with Skubal right now.
Right.
Like,
Well, not only that, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, there's going to be, I wonder if MLB is using the salary cap as a ruse. And by saying, "Oh, we want a salary cap, we want a salary cap, we want a salary cap," well, they're going to do everything they can not to hit the salary cap, not to get that. So it's possible that they're going to wind up losing arbitration, losing,
which
there's
actually would
a
work out
guaranteed-
well, because then if you lose arbitration, more players hit free agency every year, which allows more teams to sign players. They still have to spend the money to do it, but now all the players that were in the arbitration process would be at free agency, which could essentially add in 25 to 30 big time free agents every year.
I feel like that's where the guaranteed contracts come into play and the non-guaranteed contracts. Like, they're going to not guarantee these contracts, which means that they're going to be able to get out of stuff. And because baseball is new into the whole signing bonus situation, there's going to be certain players who's going to sign these massive contracts, not have anything guaranteed, in terms of like, oh, we're going to do this in a signing bonus and stuff like that. Because that's all the signing bonus is, guarantees your money.
Yep. That's something
You know what
the
I mean?
Angels wish they would have had with Anthony Rendon.
And then they're going to be able to get rid of these players. That's what's going to wind up happening. I can see that. They're going to not have a salary cap. They're going to raise the minimum and probably lower the you're saying that the Dodgers are paying somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 million in the luxury tax.
$337 million was their luxury tax penalty this year.
So probably lower that or even raise that some, so that, they're going to pay that luxury tax. And what does that get spread across the other 31 teams?
I don't know how that works. I think they
Like,
just
where
have I think they just pay it to the league. I don't think it gets spread
Yeah, I
out.
was going to say, I didn't think that was part of
they just pay it to
the
league.
mutual payment program. I thought that was just off the TV deals.
Yeah, I think the TV deals are what gets spread across the league, but I think that luxury tax penalty, they just have to pay directly to the league office. That doesn't get spread out or anything.
Yeah,
Where does
that's
that
what I
money go? It just goes into Manfred's
Bonus
pocket?
program. It's a Manfred Beer Fund.
That's honestly why teams try to stay under it. Because if they do have to pay that penalty, it just goes to Manfred's bonus fund. It's not like it's going towards the rest of the league to benefit all these other teams. It's just like, oh, we spent money to go over the number that he told us we can't go past, so now we got to pay him back for going over the number he told us he can't go past.
Right, because on top of that, like, I wonder, like, so nobody goes over the salary cap.
That's not accurate. It goes
Okay.
into the player benefits, player retirement, supplemental commissioner fund.
So it doesn't go to the teams; it goes to players that retire and other
Correct.
stuff. So it doesn't go back to the team. Well, at least it goes to a good cause, I guess. It doesn't just go into the commissioner's pocket.
Don't
It
get
goes
me
to-
wrong. Like, there's plenty of zeros that probably get like filtered into some other
Right.
stuff. But that's what they say. So
But yeah, that's why a lot of these teams now, like even 5 years ago, teams had no problems going over the luxury tax at least a couple of years because everyone knew that if you went over it that first year, it was like an 11% penalty. If you went over it the second year, it went from 11% to 27%. And then if you went over it a third year or fourth year or a fifth year, it goes at like 38% is where it stays. But the way it works is if you're over that luxury tax, and then the next year you're under the tax, then it resets. So then you can just go right back over the next year or whatever. So a lot of teams got smart by saying, oh, we'll go over it this year and this year, stay under it 1 year, and then we'll just go back over it the next 2 years. But now teams have just gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, I just don't want to pay the penalty anymore. We lose draft picks, we lose money. Like, I just don't want to pay that penalty anymore.
Whereas the Dodgers doesn't care. They're like,
Dodgers,
you know what? If we're paying $1 billion in tax, who cares?
Right. We're getting $2 billion from a TV contract. Here is $337 million of our TV deal to do what you want with it. We'll be back over that number next year, so we'll write you another check.
So Joe and Rob, yes, I will be doing the Pick'em show at noon Pacific. So it'll be about an hour and a half before the first kickoff.
So the NFL starts Saturday, correct? I think we have one more college game tonight, and then we get the NFL starting Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
What'd you think of that game last night?
A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. I felt my heart broke, though. My heart broke for Ole Miss because, just the way Carson Beck got in there so easily, I just know that deflated the hell out of him, man.
Now, I mean, I thought Miami was going to be too much for him. I thought it'd be a competitive game, but especially Miami's defense is they got a nice defense.
Yeah, except I didn't think that they would score that easily. They were walking down. They really could have called the penalty in the last play of the game.
They would have had one more play at it, but it's not like the NFL. The ball wouldn't have been at the 1. It's only a 15-yard penalty, so they still had to go from the 20, but they would have got one more play out of it.
Yeah.
I think some of the penalties definitely slowed down Miami. I think Miami could have done a little bit better if they hadn't had some of those penalties, which extended some of those Ole Miss drives. But I think that's part of being a physical team is sometimes that happens, right?
But I think that there ain't no chance for Miami to beat Indiana.
No. And I expect the Indiana-Oregon game to be a good game. I think Indiana's just too much of a better team. They're going to win, but I think Oregon's going to give them a shot.
Yeah.
Oregon seems to be that kind of team, though, that will play really, really well. But when they get to the upper level parts of the playoffs, they kind of just peter down a little bit.
No. Like I always joke about it because they have 1,000 jerseys and no titles.
But they do have cool jerseys.
I'm a Washington Husky fan, and so naturally we have to hate the Ducks. But yeah, I mean, this Ducks team is a good team. They're just not good enough to get past Indiana. But they are going to give them a run. I mean, Indiana's a great team, but it's Oregon will make it interesting.
I have a feeling it's going to be a 31-7, 31-6 game. Yeah, like where they score a touchdown and miss a 2-point conversion. Just my opinion.
It would be surprising to see them get blown out in this game.
Yeah,
would it though? Because Indiana won at Oregon.
Oh, I expect Indiana to win. I just don't expect them to blow them out.
What do you think if Indiana does play Miami, Pags? I know you talked about that. What would it be that hurts Miami the most? Is it going to be that they're going to give up too much on the run because they do have a soft run defense?
Indiana's defense.
Yeah.
Their defense.
Like everyone talks about Miami's defense, and like Miami's defense is good. I'm not going to discredit their defense, but Indiana's defense is on another level. Like Indiana's defense is ridiculous, and they hit.
I mean,
they're not afraid to hit you, and like they look at Ohio State. They hit Ohio State early and often, and they let Ohio State know, like, hey, we're here to play. Like, you better stand up and take the hits.
No, that's the thing is they have one of the most physical teams and the best defense in the league. But I mean, when they go into those games, they're like, yeah, you better buckle that chin strap because we're coming at you.
Look at the Alabama game. Like the first series of the game, like I think it was Jeremy Bernard, their number 2 receiver, caught it and just got lit up by like 2 people. And all of a sudden he looks at the sideline and he's getting up. He's like, oh, I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah.
Because Indiana's like, yeah, we're here to play. You better buckle up and get ready to take some poundings.
Yeah. Irvin looked coked out of his brain.
Again,
Probably
again.
He did, man. Jeez.
Like, maybe he wasn't, but man,
But Miami did make history last night, though. I forgot that. I didn't even realize until the game was over that they will be the first college football team to play for the national championship in their own stadium.
Well, it's not their own stadium, though. Is it? Well, you mean in their own state?
No,
Or do they play at Hard Rock? Is that their natural playing
They
facility?
play at Hard Rock Stadium. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know they shared the stadium with
Yep.
the Dolphins.
they'll be playing the national championship game in their own stadium.
Wow.
Good night to be a coke dealer in Miami that night.
on
You know
this
what-
show,
you know what
we
I
don't
didn't
promote
realize?
drug use.
Michael
You know what
Irvin's
I didn't
probably got a
realize?
bolt.
I didn't realize Nick Saban was an assistant coach for the Houston Oilers. I didn't realize he was under Glanville at that time, but I didn't realize he was part of that organization. Nick Saban, I didn't realize how many places he's coached. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he moved around a bit.
I just didn't realize he was in Houston. Cut to me for a loop.
There you go. So you
Yeah,
learn something new every day.
Every
It's
day.
not just the sweating; it's the like licking the teeth and like having your eyes bugging out of your head.
And punching himself in the head with both fists.
Yeah, and then yanking his belt off, and like it was
Tapping the wall. I mean, he was. Yeah. It looked like an acid trip that went way wrong.
or right, I guess.
Or
Depending on
right.
how you look at it. So since we didn't really get into the NFL at all, which game this weekend are you looking forward to the most? With the last couple of minutes here. Excuse me.
Well, initially, I'm looking at the Chicago game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that the Rams just win outright. Should we do a quick pick 'em?
Yeah, we got time to do a quick one.
Yeah, we can roll through that real quick.
I'm really curious to see how the 49ers handle the Eagles and how the Eagles respond offensively. That's going to be a good game.
I think
feel
that I'm on the two games that I'm most interested in are the Bills and Jags and the Bears and Packers, because whoever wins that game alters the rest of the playoff picture going forward.
Oh, no question. Yeah.
Those are the two games that I think those are the two games where it's like a toss up as who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm definitely looking forward to the Bills Jags.
all right, let's go with Rams and the Panthers.
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, it's not a real question.
Well, he has to ask. But yeah.
So no, I will say I don't think they cover. They're a 10.5-point favorite.
Well, I think they cover because Carolina beat them in Carolina about a month ago and basically ended the Rams' hopes with home field. I think the Rams are going to come in for blood and just be like, "Yep, we're going to just beat your brakes off."
No. Like the Rams definitely win, and it's probably 10. But with a line at 10.5, I think the half gets you.
Possible. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily have as much faith in the Rams as you guys do, but
Having Devontae Adams back will help.
so, okay.
And
And
I
then
don't think-
Chicago,
I don't
Green
think-
Bay.
Green Bay.
I'm taking Chicago.
I got the Bears.
I'm going Green Bay.
I
Too
think
many
it's
injuries for
Chicago,
Green
too.
Bay.
Yeah.
The only
I
reason
agree.
the Packers win is if they're just in Chicago's head.
I feel like if Micah was healthy and playing, I feel like they would have a really good shot at it. But Micah was such a difference maker.
Yeah.
Bills,
I agree.
Jags.
I'm going Bills because, like I said before, if Josh Allen does not get it this year, you have to question if he will ever get there.
I keep going back and forth. For the sake of this show, I'll go Bills. Obviously, I'm going to go further in depth on this on my Pick'em show tomorrow. But
Right.
I'm going to go Jags. I'm going to go Jags on this. I believe that Duval and that I just don't trust that Bills defense right now, so I'm going to go with them.
I was going to go Jags. I feel like that their defense is good enough to stifle Josh Allen.
it's just the numbers are better for in just about every category for the Bills. So, I mean, it's going to come
Eagles,
down to,
Eagles.
is Josh Allen going to be special, or is he going to have one of his 3 interception days?
I also feel like the Bills are cursed when it gets to playoffs. I just feel like every year they're just cursed. They've been cursed since Jim Kelly was there.
I don't think they're cursed because they keep losing to the same damn teams that are not in the field this year.
And they don't generally lose in the wild card round. It's usually
That's like when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady always made the playoffs. All these teams lost to them, and they weren't cursed. They just kept running into both those guys every year.
Well, now he's gonna have to add Trevor Lawrence to that. Eagles, Niners.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles too.
I'm gonna go Niners here. I'll take the
me
underdog.
too. I'm going Niners because I felt like they were so close to getting that number 1 spot in their division, have that seed. And that Philly offense, I don't know. There's still something within that Philly offense I just can't get into fully.
Okay. The Sunday night game is
Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got the
Patriots
Pats.
Who are the Patriots playing?
Chargers,
Chargers?
The Chargers and
Oh,
Herbert's
yeah.
so
I'm going Patriots.
and Herbert's out.
He's banged up.
he's
playing,
not out, but he's banged up, so he'll be less effective.
Yeah, I think New England too. Everybody got New England?
Yep.
Yeah.
That means
So that means the Chargers going to win.
absolutely. And then Monday Night Football.
Taking the Texans.
Yeah, I got Texans.
I like that defense a lot.
Yeah, and the offense has really come along. So, I mean, the Texans are better at just about everything. So
Yeah, I got the Texans. That their defense is going to be too tough. I got the Texans going to the Super Bowl. So
That'll set up an interesting. If that plays out, though, that sets up an interesting second round too. Patriots versus Bills round 3. Because
yep, and then Jacksonville versus Houston.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be fun.
No, that one.
If the Texans win, the only way they can play Jacksonville is in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
But if the Bills beat the Jays and the Bills go to the number 1 seed, so then it would be Texas. Yeah, never
Bills
mind.
wouldn't go to the number 1 seed. The Bills would go to
the higher rated seed.
Denver.
Yeah,
Go to Denver.
Yep.
So, but you have Houston as well there, Jay?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right, that means Pittsburgh's winning too.
pretty much.
Oh, man. I just...
All right,
yeah.
Got them all. We got them all marked down.
Perfect.
You can see how much you guys are wrong.
Thanks for playing along with us. If you've been watching us today, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our content to you. Otherwise, enjoy the bowl game tonight. And, of course, all of the NFL action this weekend. We will see you all on Monday, unless you're tuning into my Pick'em show tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.